I was sitting at a restaurant inside of a nondescript mall in Houston, Texas, knee-deep in a seminar with one of my mentors, Dr. John DeMartini. We'd spent 6 days, up to 16 hours a day, on intense work, lectures, and learning about the deep-rooted philosophies of life. I was spent. My brain hurt from the overload of inputs, and my body was breaking down from the inactivity. I was having a conversation with others at the seminar, when one of them said that after this, he was headed to another event, followed immediately by another immersive one. Oh, I thought. I couldn't fathom another event because I needed to execute on what I'd learned. That's when I discovered there were people using personal development and seminars as an escape, not as a tool to execute and create progress in their life. While I love events and believe they should be a staple for our path of growth, I was stunned to discover what I call personal development program hoppers. However, I was also part of the problem. I'd go to these events, achieve massive clarity, and stay up until 3 in the morning full of zest. I'd type out an entire grand plan on the plane home. Then I'd wake up a few weeks later without any tangible sign of progress. Sure, my mindset had been sharpened, but the inspiration and energy had waned, and I didn't have much to show for it. This pattern would repeat for years. Each time, I'd make a vow. This time, it's going to be different. After years of this on-again, off-again cycle, I began to notice a common trend. When I focused on small daily actions tied to the larger vision, I felt invigorated and inspired, and I moved the needle. When I focused on the end result and the massive vision I'd created, I felt depleted and uninspired, and suffered from paralysis by analysis. I decided to reverse engineer the vision I had created, bringing it down to the smallest common denominator. It'd have to be so tiny, it'd be impossible not to move the needle. The next day, I'd do the same thing over and over and over again. For the first time in years, I started to see the real world, incredible results everyone at these seminars promised. At the time, I was running a fitness business, and we more than doubled our revenue in only a few months. I hired my first employee and committed to a 10-day trip to Costa Rica in order to force myself to systemize and automate my business. I was living my purpose and passion and turning all the information and wisdom from mentors and coaches into real-world results based on daily progress. This was the light bulb moment. I started to recognize the power of the 1% rule and applied it to every area of my life. I applied it to hundreds of clients. It worked better than I could have ever predicted. The results were astounding. They became the core themes of the book you're reading now.